What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? Welcome to another quickie. It's a Saturday afternoon here with your host JJT and with our commish. Commish, lots of games today.
Yes.
Lots of
How many games? 7? 10. 10 games.
10 games
today.
There were lots of great performances as well, and some disappointing ones. Some of them have been disappointing since the first game, and we'll talk about them. Today we'll do the usual format that we did last season. We'll talk about the feel-good players, the buy players, and the worry players that we have on our radar. So where do we begin? The feel good. Let's start off on the right note. Feel good players. Myles Turner put up 40 against one of my teams. My goodness.
40, 10, and then 3 blocks and 5 3-pointers. He was hot. The whole game.
The field goal percentage was really good.
Yeah.
I think it was 13 out of 18, something like that.
Yes. Although we know with Myles the blocks are good. The 3-pointers, he's always been able to hit 2 or 3, sometimes 1 or 2. So that's good also. What I'm very happy to see was the rebounds, which was 10 rebounds. He's very seldom in double digits with rebounds. So we have to see if this is gonna be a trend, although I doubt it. So if I think if Myles Turner right now, you try to flip him for a higher ranked player like Ayton, I think I'll do that. I can consider that, or maybe Sabonis, something
That's
like that.
Too much. That's too much of an ask.
But it depends on your league. Some managers
wouldn't mind that. I mean, you could do Myles Turner and another one plus Sabonis and another one. I mean, a package would make it seem like but the discrepancy is not too far.
But you don't have to do this, guys. We're not saying you have to trade Myles, because if you got Myles Turner, if you really have a build in mind, Myles plays a big role in your team, because he's gonna supply you with blocks. He's gonna help with threes. There are a lot of I've seen a lot of teams with Myles Turner in it, and then the managers know what they're getting with Myles, and they need what they're getting with Myles. So it doesn't mean that, hey, Myles exploded, okay, I'll trade him with Sabonis. Sabonis doesn't have blocks, so if you change that, you win value wise, rank wise in that trade, but then your team
build would
be different. So it's up to you. It's up to you. It depends. But just be wary that this will not happen every game.
Yep.
This is a career game, so to speak.
And every season, Myles Turner is a fast starter. If you will notice,
Yes.
Every season, he starts off really, really, really well.
Yes.
And towards the end of the season, it's either an injury bug hits him or the performance slows down a bit. But the blocks will always be a staple. I mean, it's always there. The scoring and the threes can, of
Here
course,
and there.
it will be here and there. Especially when the other players return, like LeVert returns.
Warren.
Indiana goes into they have their full roster back. Another player, Lonzo Ball, had a triple-double, a low-end triple-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 0 turnovers. That's the best stat if you have a Lonzo Ball team.
I think that's good because he's still handling the ball, but he's sharing it with DeRozan and Levine. So he doesn't have to really create too much and force too much of the action. That helps his turnovers down and helps his shooting, because he gets his threes from the flow of the offense. So that's why before the draft we said Lonzo was one of our favorite sleepers. He was going 50 something. So if you got him there, you should be very happy, and you should be very contented with what he's been doing so far.
Yep. Solid numbers. If you got him at 50 plus, he should be helping your team. Hopefully, he keeps himself healthy. But the way Chicago is right now, I think as long as they're winning, He won't have to play very big minutes, and that would help him with his health, I guess.
Yes.
Other players, Miles Bridges also played well. I think he had 30 today, 4 threes,
I'm
and
happy
the
with
percentages are also there.
the percentages has always been there with Miles Bridges. I'm happy with the steals. I hope that the 3 steals will continue because that's one thing he's lacking with this game. It is 0.9 steals, I think, a game. If he can make it to 1.5 steals, I don't see why he's not top 60 with the percentages that he does. The rebounds, the points, the three pointers. So he's trending up. He's trending up. And again, another player that people, as we said, this today was a day of veterans, of unsexy, not hype picks, players who are boring. Today they exploded. Everybody who exploded are players like this. So maybe this is a maybe Miles Bridges and maybe the others we're gonna talk about later. Maybe this is an good education to us that don't fall for the sexy guys, the
Yeah, but
cool
Miles,
guys.
we've said it before. Miles
Yeah,
Bridges
yeah.
is way too low in the ranking. I mean, if you got him at 100, past the 100 mark, that's already a good steal for you.
And we did get him a lot of times past the
At
100 mark.
90s, even at 90s, I think that's a solid value already. Not so bad value, especially with his chemistry with Lamelo.
And the thing is with Charlotte, we were not sure before the season started how the minutes would shape out to be. And
Yeah,
it
because
looks
of
like Miles.
Plumlee. Plumlee didn't play the preseason,
Yes.
and now
Ma-
we've seen it.
Miles looks like he's solidly 33 to 35 minutes, and solidly in the power forward position. So he's okay. He's safe. He's safe with the minutes. I think later we're gonna talk about one of the worry players, and then that's PJ Washington.
Yeah.
His minutes and the other minutes, that's kind of a problem, and that's what we're gonna talk about later when we talk about PJ.
You talked about some of the old guys that not really picked below their value, but some of the managers didn't know what to expect with these guys. One is Chris Paul. I think he dropped a few in some of the drafts to around the 30s, early 30s, not really too low. But still, with Chris Paul, there's always a question of durability or how long can he keep it up. Like the same questions with LeBron, I guess, in that sense. But Chris Paul was solid today.
Well, the good thing, as you said, durability. But I myself am guilty of not really believing in Chris Paul this year. I am happy to see that at least per game, he started well. He usually starts that not that well. He's usually just coasting along. But so far, first 2 games, he's been good. He looks good. So that is nice to see because he's coming off probably the longest season he's ever had. He went to the finals, and it's a shortened break this year. So happy to see what he's been doing. And I don't know if he can stay healthy. We don't know, but
all I ask from Chris, because I have I think a couple of Chris Pauls out there, but all I ask from Chris Paul is if he can get 9 to 10 assists per game and maybe 15, 16 points per game and not much turnovers, I'll be fine with that. Maybe 5, 6 assists. I mean 5,
I
6
think
rebounds.
my question with Chris Paul before the draft was, will I get him or LaMelo? That was always in my mind. Even in the last auction draft that we did, I was thinking of when I got Chris Paul, we got Chris Paul in the auction draft. I got him only because I thought LaMelo was going to be too expensive, and they came out almost the same. And after the draft, I was kind of regretting that I just did not wait for LaMelo. But seeing Chris Paul do this makes me a little happy.
You got Chris Paul?
Yeah, we got Chris Paul. It's
in the auction draft. Okay.
In the auction draft,
we
got Chris Paul.
Unboxed.
Chris Paul went
auction.
around $4 less than LaMelo, and I'm still debating right now, who do I want more, LaMelo or Chris Paul?
I think they can give out pretty much the same numbers, but I think in a category league, I think Chris Paul has an edge, assuming that health permit both of them stays healthy. Because I would expect LaMelo's field goals to go up and down from time to time. Chris Paul somehow is a steadier percentage-wise.
For
Won't
me,
you
I'll
agree?
go.
I mean, I think that's
No,
where Chris Paul lies,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The
Percentages,
efficiencies.
efficiencies is that's correct. But I will choose Lamelo this year only because not about injuries. Chris Paul and Phoenix can coast basically this season. I think they will win more. They won't not need Chris Paul to do
To
a
do
lot.
more.
And Lamelo is a star of Charlotte. Basically, he has everything goes through him. So I just think that the usage will just be higher for Lamelo. That's why for the first time I'm not gonna choose Chris Paul. Only this year. Only this year, Chris.
But
So
but
don't be
Lamel
angry. Don't be angry.
Lamelo mellowed down a bit in the
Yeah,
second
yeah, that
game.
is
So but still solid numbers.
solid.
I mean,
Solid.
it's not something that's too low or something that you would be disappointed about. Other old guys who are still solid. I think Rudy Gobert has is still there.
Rudy Gobert, yeah.
He is still there, but today he proved that he is a steady force. And I've seen we talked about during the drafts about maybe a Steph and Gobert
Gobert.
build, and I've seen the value of having a Gobert there with a player who has great shooting, scoring, and maybe passing. So I think a Gobert Steph, a Gobert Harden, a Gobert
Lillard.
Durant or Lillard is a great combination, and I can see why. Shout
And that
out to
goes
our friend Joao for bringing that
that
up to us.
that goes against what other people are saying, that when you go Steph, you punt this, you punt that. That it is another way of building your team. I think balancing things out, because the eliteness of this thing you can only do with really elite bigs and really elite
There's
point
just
guards like
one,
Steph.
right? I mean,
Steph,
maybe a
Steph,
couple.
yeah, Steph and Gobert, Lillard and Gobert. Why does it work? Because the the strengths of Gobert, which is rebounds, he had 21 today. He had 20 the first game, I think. And the blocks are just basically the two categories that Steph is weak at.
Yeah,
Although Steph has been hot with rebounds also lately, but
and
still,
that helps. I mean, that
that
helps.
helps. That helps. That's why he covers all the holes of Steph. Steph covers all his holes. So it's just perfect. And Gobert, the problem with that pairing is that it can't happen in 14 team leagues this year, because
It's
Gobert
gonna be
suddenly
hard.
moved up.
Yeah,
He moved up because of Zion, because of Kyrie, because of the other players moving down. And that ruined all the chances of that happening. And looking back, maybe he moved up not too high, not high enough. He should probably have been in the top 20. He went 24, 23, 24, but
but
sometimes should have been top 20, the way I
in
see it.
case you missed that train, I think players like Durant and Gobert also complements well in the sense that
Yes.
still
Yeah.
Durant probably is a similar Steph in terms of shooting, or maybe a low end Trae Young and Gobert with the elite assist, and the elite rebounding that you can already have at the start of your draft. But if you want a lower end Gobert, maybe Clint Capella at the later rounds would be a helpful addition to your team during drafts. But probably that's for next season's draft already. The last of our feel good players, Al Horford.
Yeah.
I hate
Well,
Al Horford. I needed the blocks. So this is what happened. He was game time decision. He wasn't sure if he was going to play. So I have in my IL plus, and then I added a player that could have more blocks, and that's Whiteside. Just so
well,
I could get some blocks. And then he played. I don't mind him playing, but he played and then gave 4 blocks.
and when
That
you
could
watch,
have, tied the blocks department from my one of my
it was
leagues.
actually 5. They took out 1 block, so it became 4. That's a fluke though.
I know,
that
but
that's the irritating part, because it's not as if he's gonna do that again.
yeah,
But good thing he played. I watched him. He got how many minutes? He got a lot of minutes coming out of COVID.
yeah.
So it really looks like he's gonna start. He's gonna play major minutes, and when you watch them, he's all over the place. Offense, defense is there. So
Well, he
I think
has a different bounce in his step.
this
I
year,
mean, I think the rest last year helped him a lot. Of course, we don't know. It's still very early. Everyone has a good step in their, good bounce in their step, but we'll see how Horford holds until the end of the season.
And I think he likes it in Boston. Nobody would be motivated to play if they're with OKC. So
Yeah,
so I think that alone gives him more motivation to play. So Horford top 70 or 80, I think this
possible.
year.
Yeah, and that's a
Possible.
good. If he reaches that, that's already good value for you.
I think
Especially
I
he's
think we
being
have to
picked
add
100 or 90s.
yeah. I think we have to add Kevin Love here and Lamarcus Aldridge. Kevin Love, special mention, just in passing, 11 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, Jeremy's favorite. But don't pick him up. Lamarcus, 25 points. A lot of people will ask, 2 blocks, 5 rebounds. We dropped him. Should we pick him back up? I think he's more of a, game by game kind of player. So maybe if he has a game and you need to stream a big, you can use him. But for a regular roster spot, I don't think.
And I think that Nets rotation is a messy rotation in terms of
Yeah.
fantasy. I mean, anyone there can perform. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if another game Blake gives good numbers and another game Paul Millsap gives good numbers. I mean,
maybe
these players
Claxton.
can give numbers. The question is, can they give it out consistently? So that's the challenge with that Nets rotation. All right, let's move on to some of our worry players. Start off with the rookie Jalen Suggs. Played better, but didn't shoot the ball well. He was
4 of
4 out of
17.
4 out of 17. But the other stats are there. He had, I think, 8 rebounds or
7 rebounds.
7 rebounds and 8
7
assists.
rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals, I think. The problem right now for owners, you're stuck. I think
you're
it's
in the
hard.
part wherein should I drop him? But he showed some hope. Now
I think he's gonna be in that rookie cycle. He's just gonna be part of it. It's a poor efficiency, but there will be flashes of brilliance, and it's gonna be tough to own him because just hard to drop someone like that, someone that can explode anytime. And so I think you just have to hold on. You just have to hold on.
I mean, it's just the first week. It's just the first week. I mean, not even the first week, but just the third day. Of games. So I think, or fourth day of games. So I think just hold on and see what happens there. I think he is worth a hold. I don't think it's going to be hard to see him though reach top 100 value with this type of lines or inconsistency. So just set your expectations a little lower with Jalen Suggs.
If you can trade him, trade him. If you can trade him, trade him.
Now?
I mean, now it was better. So, I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it now. It's just you have to float some offers and then
just test the market. See what the market, because these are rookies, and some of these rookies, some of the managers are quite high on certain rookies.
Yeah.
So they might or they might be holding a card of Jalen Suggs. I mean, that I've seen that in group chats.
Yeah.
Managers owning basketball cards or trading cards of certain players, they would want to own them in their fantasy teams, and that can be a trade advantage for you. Other worry players, TJ McConnell.
Yeah,
we were talking about him a while ago in one of our group chats. If it's TJ McConnell or Duarte who is worth keeping or who would have better value.
I have Duarte. Duarte played 40-something minutes again. Although the line today wasn't as good as the first day.
It's an overtime game, by the way. So
yes. 5 assists, 3 threes. Not too good given how many minutes he played. You give that number of minutes to McConnell. McConnell would have had 11 or 12 assists. Yeah. McConnell had only 24 minutes in an overtime game and no TJ Warren yet, no Caris LeVert. So it's not good because it's a new coach. If this was last year's coach, then we would say he likes him. But now we know that not that Rick Carlisle doesn't like him, but maybe doesn't like him that as much as the coach before. So 12th team, for me, McConnell is a specialist. He's still going to give you assists. He's still going to give you steals. So I'm not saying drop him in 12 team, 14 hold, 16, 18 hold, 12 team borderline. You can drop him if you have too much assists already or too much. You don't need the steals. Maybe you can drop him because if you're expecting that last year's McConnell top 80, top 70, I do not see that coming or happening this year. I
The
don't
thing
know.
with McConnell, for example, I think with the way so far the trend has been not too good with McConnell, right? So that means their value now would probably be higher than their value next week. So if
Mm-hmm.
you put them out there as a trade chip for or a package trade, add them in a package trade, their value could be higher than maybe if you offer them next week. So that can also be an option. But for those teams that might be needing assists and steals,
Yes.
you could sell that idea that McConnell can give you those stats. Yeah, but of course, trading is not easier said than done. Joel Embiid, I put him in our worry list because he was questionable coming into today's game, and it's just the second game of the season.
And he
And
left the first half. He left the first half early because he was hobbling the right knee. I think there's something wrong. But he did come back. He did play. But obviously, he's not 100%. The stats show that he's not 100%. He has not been the Joel Embiid first round value so far. He's not that bad. I mean, he had 4 steals, I think, or 2 blocks or anything. But he hasn't scored 20. He scored 22 a while ago, 18 or 19. So he's not 100%. It's worrying because we know the injury history of Joel Embiid. And again, I've said this 1,000 times. Andre Drummond, if you have Joel Embiid, is a must roster for your team. Must have, not must roster, must have for your team. If you don't have him, trade for him. I don't know what you have to give up, but it's just a way to cover your bases. Because if your first round pick is Embiid, he goes down. You don't have Drummond. You don't have anybody to replace him.
yep.
So the value of Andre Drummond to a team with Joel Embiid is higher than the value of Andre Drummond per se.
Yep.
So for a team with Joel Embiid, Andre Drummond can be worth a first round pick for you. I mean, worth a first round or second round, maybe a second round, because that's what he's gonna give you when Embiid goes down. That
Yep.
means your team will not fall too much, just a little bit, because there's a Drummond.
Uh, yeah. So Joel Embiid, a worry player in terms of injury, but still gave out great numbers today. OG and Fred VanVleet,
Oh man,
two guys. We were
OG.
worried about them in the first game. Maybe not too worried because it was the first game. But the
Well,
second game, though,
we were worried about OG. FVV. No, we were worried about Van Vliet. OG,
yeah,
we said he's gonna be fine.
yeah. But well, he we said he's gonna be fine. But of course, the field goal percentage, we didn't expect it to be this bad. Uh,
So 4 out of 18, 3 out of 19. That's 7 out of 37. The worst thing is he didn't have a steal today. Did not get 10 rebounds today. Also,
and
Scotty
and they
Scotty
won.
Barnes. Yeah,
And some of the other players like Scotty Barnes and Precious Achua played well. I think
Scotty.
maybe Chris Boucher had a better line than OG.
Yeah, Scotty was 25 and 13 today. Precious is 15 and
15,
15. So
15.
great lines, and I think that overshadowed OG a little bit. But this is a buy low moment if there is any. This is the first buy low moment that I can really say you have to take advantage of. I've been trying. As I said, maybe a Harrison Barnes can give you an OG. You never know. I know Harrison is not sexy, but if someone is an OG manager and is panicking,
Let's be
it's possible.
realistic. It's gonna be too hard to sell that Harrison. Although Harrison Barnes played another great game today.
I'll
But
show you. I'll try it.
again,
I'll try
yeah,
it.
you can try it. But like I said, like I told you in the past quickies, Harrison Barnes is a hard sell in the trade market. I think there's this. He plays well. He can contribute, but it's gonna be difficult to sell him for an OG. But let's
But
see
but but
if you
safe to
can pull it
say,
off. You have to tell us.
safe to say we're concerned with OG's field goal, but we think he's gonna be fine eventually overall.
Yeah.
Fred VanVleet also. He starting slow, but it's an 82 game season. So I mean,
The thing with
just give him
Fred
more
VanVleet
games.
is that I'm not concerned with the other stats. What I really hate, and I said this even during the drafts, what I really hate about Fred VanVleet is that those percentages. I mean,
That yeah, agreed. I can't say anything about that.
he was 40% flap last year. I think he's
Yeah.
worse now. I mean, he's below. I think he's 38, 39%, maybe a little lower. So just get it up there to that 40s. I hope.
I'm concerned with Van Vliet. I'm not saying he's gonna be this bad. I'm concerned only because usually he was 40% last year. He was top 20
He had the other stuff.
three pointers, because steals, because turnovers for a point guard that has those stats. That's the reason why he's so high. Because you would say Suggs is like that, and you said, that's a problem. Why is Fred VanVleet not a problem? Why is Fred VanVleet? Because of those things, because of those combinations. He has all the other stats except blocks and field goal. And field goal is really bad. But the turnovers for a point guard is low last year. And this year, it's not been the same thing because he's the main point guard. I watched the game and then Boston was doubling him. He has to
Okay, let me ask this:
handle the ball.
Is Fred VanVleet a buy low candidate?
Yes, depends on
Because
how
I don't
low.
see it the same way. I don't.
For instance, I'm sure we're gonna talk about Shai. I think is he in our
Shai,
worry?
yeah.
I still want Fred VanVleet over Shai for one.
But that's gonna be a hard sell in the trade market. Two players who are struggling.
No, if I'm a Shai owner, I want Fred VanVleet. If I'm a Fred VanVleet owner, I could see the upside in Shai. Maybe that, hey, field goal is better. I just hate the field goal already. You can swing a deal like that. And what else? I think he's a buy low player. Everybody that's struggling is a buy low player because right now, I don't think Fred VanVleet is in the top 100. So yeah, you can still swing some trades, but it's gonna be hard. I'm just gonna say it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
Yes.
Other players who are very Michael Porter Jr.
Oh yeah, this one I'm more confident with. And this is buy low. This is easy. I'm confident with this one. He's not this bad. He had only 10 attempts today. I don't know why, but
my thing with Michael Porter Jr. I think he's sometimes drafted too high.
That is true.
I don't like him being picked early in the second. Maybe the same sentiment I have with LaMelo. I have this with Michael Porter Jr. Early second is not the right time to pick Michael Porter, or even the mid. I like Michael Porter Jr. at a late second or an early third, which sometimes he falls there. Unlike LaMelo, but
I agree with you. The LaMelo one I don't agree, but the Michael Porter Jr. I agree. This is buy low, but I still agree with Jeremy that he was picked too high this year.
I think
picked too high.
I would say my prediction for Michael Porter Jr. is top 35, sure.
Yes, I agree with that also.
But I don't think he'll reach top 20 or top 30. He could get there top 30, but barely, I think.
Projections he was top 20 was projected that way because of people saying Jamal Murray is out. But Jamal Murray was out last year. Michael Porter Jr. Improved his stats a little, but not top 20 levels. And I don't see how a new year with Aaron Gordon having the whole training camp and then Will Barton coming back healthy would change any of those. So that people maybe over projected Michael Porter Jr., but doesn't mean he's this bad.
Yeah.
As Jeremy said, he's top 35 easily. So right now, if a manager feels that, okay, he's a bust, because top 35 and a bust is different.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah, you got him 20s and that's top 35. That's bad. That's not bad, but it's not bust.
No, the reason I just said that, because maybe your expectations of Michael Porter Jr. is top 20 or top 24.
Yeah, no.
That might be a little too high. So just lower your expectation a bit, and I think he'll be better than that. Lastly, we have PJ Washington. We talked about him earlier. PJ Washington was. I'm worried
Worrying.
about the minutes actually. I mean,
Yes.
although him and Plumlee played pretty much similar minutes, but my worry is Plumlee is a better player than Cody Zeller, so the competition is tougher in that center position. I mean, Plumlee is no Cody Zeller. Plumlee can do a lot more things. He can pass, he can rebound a lot, he can defend. So that's what worries me about PJ Washington.
Yes, I agree. I thought PJ Washington is gonna. I knew he was gonna come off the bench. I knew he was gonna be the backup center, but I thought he was also gonna get a lot of minutes at the power forward position. So I thought he could easily get to the 28, 30 minutes. So far, the first two games, 19 and 24. So not good. Plumlee did have only 22 a while ago, so it's a total timeshare. That's not good for both of them. But
Yep.
well, the problem is people expect more from PJ Washington. I still, I mean, if you can get him for a song,
And you get PJ Washington early in the draft. I mean, Plumlee is being picked past the 100 mark already. So that's not. I mean, that's a pretty not bad deal for Plumlee.
but this is the thing. PJ Washington, even in 24 minutes or 22 minutes, can produce, and so far he hasn't. So that's why I'm saying that yeah, go trade for him because even if this doesn't improve, the minutes doesn't improve, he can give you one steal, one block a game easily. So or if he was dropped, pick him up.
I think he is close to a. Many people would be close to dropping this guy.
Pick him up,
especially maybe in a 14 team league. In a 16 team, I think he will be
a hold.
A hold, yeah. But in a 14 team, I think someone with itchy fingers would probably drop him already.
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
So, and the last of our worry players are the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, good. I want to talk about OKC.
Has been bad. Not really bad. He hasn't been
Shai?
a second. Yeah, Shai hasn't been. It's not bad, but
it's bad. It's bad. No, it's not. This is not bad.
He
still really
gives
bad.
you something. He still gives you something.
What did he do today?
I think 18 points? Let me check.
He had the first game he had 13 points and 5 rebounds. Shai doesn't give you a lot of threes. Shai doesn't give you a lot of steals. Shai doesn't even give you a lot of assists. So if he doesn't score, I mean,
oh yeah, Shai
bad.
had only 13 today. I thought he had 18.
He had 18, I think, the first game. Maybe I mixed them up.
Yeah, right. He had 18 the first game. So I thought he also had 18 today, but
no. If he's averaging
13 today is bad, and 5 turnovers plus a 40% field goal.
If he's gonna average 17 to 18 points a game only, and 4 or 5 assists, what is that? I don't think that's even a third round value, not even a fourth round value. So it's bad. And the worry with me with Shai, that's why I'm not saying buy low with this guy. I'm if I can move on from him, I have him only in one league. And
I too have him in one league.
If I can move on from him, I will, only because I've watched parts of the game and they are against probably the second worst team in the NBA. So this is like G League versus G League championship game, and you lose by 30 something points. That's not good. That means I don't know how they can win 7 or 8 games this year. I really don't know. They're very, very bad, and I'm worried with Shai. If you can move him, move him. I also want to talk about Josh Giddey because that's our guy, Josh Giddey. That's my guy, Josh Giddey, and so far it's not been good. 5 points a game, around 5 rebounds, and probably 2 to 3 assists. A lot of people are asking, is he a drop? Is he a drop? If it's a 12-team league and you have somebody that you see that's high upside, yes, go. But for me, I'm holding. Personally, I have a lot of Giddies. I'm holding for a few more games, but I'm tempering my expectations. I think as a rookie, Giddy will have a longer time before we find out that the Giddy show will really come to town. Maybe January. So that's a long time. If you can't wait, drop him.
That's 3 months. 3 months from now.
If you can't wait, drop him.
Yeah, that's too long of
The
a
other
wait.
the other OKC players is for another episode. I mean, it's a lot of them are also January, February for delivery January, February, and then the others, Baisley, Dort, Poku. I mean, drop all of them. Favors. No,
Yeah.
not no one's worth anything there.
Yeah.
Sadly,
OKC last year was a mine of free agent, but this year has been
man,
really bad.
really bad.
Moving on to our buy players probably in your waiver wire that you should take note or add. Kelly Oubre had what 25 points today.
Yeah, 25. Yes.
So I've seen some Kelly Oubre's lying around in some 14 team leagues. Before today, I probably they've been added already. He's been added already. Ricky Rubio, without Garland, played well.
Oubre
Well, he
also was
played. Yeah, you were saying.
because Rozier tweaked his ankle again. The other ankle. He has a sprain in the one ankle, and then today he sprained the other ankle, and he only played 22 minutes. So I don't know how long it will take for Rozier to be healthy. He might play through the pain, but he might not play a lot of minutes or play good.
Yep.
So Oubre, yeah, go. He's been hot first two
Yep.
games.
If you need scoring, but again, you have to your expectations don't expect too much from Oubre as well because he is more of a threes and scoring kind of guy. He used to have a lot more stats, but
Well, let's see. Maybe he gets them the next few games.
yeah. Ricky Rubio played
Ravishing, Ricky.
played starter today because
Yes.
Darius Garland was out. It was what classic Ricky.
You could say he told Lamelo, "What Jason Kidd 2.0? You're a Ricky Rubio 2.0. I'm the." He outplayed Lamelo today,
Mhm.
so that's good. I've been a fan of Ricky, and I've been saying that he should have not been undrafted. He went undrafted in a lot of my leagues, 14 team to 16 team leagues. So he's a good ad, and don't drop him after you add him. He's not a scream. He's a must add everywhere, even 12
Yeah.
teams.
Unfortunately, he's nowhere to be found in any of my
Yeah, of
leagues.
course. No.
Franz Wagner, we talked about this guy as a streamer with Orlando. The Orlando situation is a bit messy other than Wendell Carter Jr. and
Mo
Mo
Bamba.
Bamba. So Franz Wagner is a young player, a rookie. So he can have some ups and downs, but for
His
now he's been
stats,
playing okay.
yeah, his stats today is not the usual stats you should expect from him, though. He had 16 points and then nothing else. I think 4 threes and nothing else. What he usually gives you is lower points. In college, is like that. Lower points, a lot of rebounds, assists, steals, all
Yeah.
around game. That's what he usually does. But today, it was 4 threes and nothing else. But I think he's worth deep leagues. He's worth a try.
Yeah, and lastly, Terrence Davis, someone to watch out for in
Deeper leagues.
Sacramento.
Maybe deeper leagues because Mo Harkless was injured.
Yeah,
So maybe he's starting already.
he
So
started
maybe
today. He didn't play. He just had 6 points and 3 rebounds. But again, it was against the Jazz, which is considered one of the better defensive teams in the league.
the,
So
the Franz Wagner thing. Just a tip: don't pick M Wagner. Pick F Wagner because there's two
don't pick the
Wagners.
brother.
Don't pick the older brother. You'll regret it.
And they're on the same team, right?
Yes, they're on the same team.
So be careful.
So a lot of people can make a mistake, and then you call Jeremy and you'll say, "Sorry,
No, I
I
won't.
added
Hey
the wrong."
guys, for those listening, guys, in those I've already sent out messages to some of the leagues. There was another request really this week, but no, guys. Once you drop a player, you drop a player. No accidental drops. Come on, guys.
What if they drop a
especially
Mitchell
the money
and
leagues? I
Donovan?
mean, the money leagues. Come on, guys. We can't do that in money leagues. And if I gave one guy a chance, I'll probably have to give everyone a chance. So guys,
but if they accidentally dropped a D Mitchell and it's not Davion, it became Donovan.
come on, guys, no. I'm not gonna be lenient on that. There have been a couple of requests, but
Commish JJT.
no, come on, the drops.
Putting his foot down.
I hate that.
That's a good tip also for all the listeners. Before you drop, there are lots of similar names in the league right now. Brothers, there's Lopez and everything. You have to look. Even Curry.
Yeah.
You have to think. You have to really check
I could forgive
twice.
those who accepted a trade that they didn't intend to accept, because that's easier, right? If you don't really intend to accept it, you can just tell me to veto it. Eventually you'll probably veto it. I mean, it's like you just saying, "No, I didn't really agree. I just click on the wrong." But accidentally dropping a player, no way.
Okay, now we know, guys.
No way, guys. No way. All right. Anyway, that's it for our quickie this today, and hope you enjoyed it. We'll go back to this usual format of FBWs every day. So, yeah.
Maybe for days with a lot of games.
Yeah, especially with the game days with a lot of games, because it's hard to break down every game and talk about all the players. So we'll just pick a few, and eventually we'll be able to talk about almost all of them. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.